It looks like Elon Musk is wrapping up his tenure at Doge and with the federal government, so let's give him a bit of a report card. Some people are already commenting, well, he's leaving, but not really leaving, and that's fair. He's shifting focus back to Tesla, SpaceX, and his other ventures, but he'll still maintain some involvement in Doge. And yes, Doge isn't going anywhere. Now, let's talk about Elon Musk, Doge, and how it relates to Social Security. If you're new here, my name is Ed Ware. I ran the third busiest Social Security office in the country. I've taken hundreds of thousands of claims, so I know Social Security inside and out. Today's also a live Q&A, and I'll be answering questions about retirement, survivor benefits, disability benefits, you name it. But first, let's break down what really happened with Doge. The original goal was to uncover $2 trillion in fraud, waste, and abuse. That was quickly scaled back to $1 trillion, and in the end, they identified about $150 billion, but not in fraud. Just in programs they didn't like and chose to shut down. So what about Social Security? Did they find any fraud there? The answer is no, $0 in fraud. Now I know some of you are thinking, wait, there is fraud in Social Security. And I agree. Social Security employees find fraud every single day. For example, people who receive disability benefits when they're not truly disabled. Applicants who submit claims without accurate medical records. Cases where someone keeps receiving benefits after a loved one has passed. These cases are caught and closed down. Social Security does regular checks, called CDRs, and uses multiple fraud detection systems. So yes, there is fraud, but Doge didn't uncover any of it.
Why?
Because they were looking in all the wrong places. Elon Musk and the Doge team were obsessed with this idea of 20 million zombies receiving Social Security checks, people supposedly 120+ years old still getting paid. But here's the problem. They were looking at the Numidian database. That's not the database that actually pays money. The MBR, the Master Beneficiary Record, is the one that disperses payments. The Numidian holds records that often lack official death certificates. Legally, Social Security can't close those records without that certificate. But no money comes out of that database. So even if 20 million records look suspicious, it doesn't matter. No payments were being made from it. If Congress wanted to close out those records, they could have authorized it. They never did.
Why?
Because some politicians liked being able to say, Social Security is broken, as a political talking point. And when Doge finally announced they closed out those zombie records, there were no dollar figures attached.
Why?
Because again, no payments were ever going out to them. If these 20 million supposed recipients were getting $1,900 per month, that would be $4.5 trillion over 10 years. But where is that $4.5 trillion? Answer: it never existed. So when Elon Musk came out calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme and the greatest fraud in history, he completely missed the mark. Social Security has passed every audit for over 30 years. Compare that to the Department of Defense, which has failed audits repeatedly. Only the U.S. Marine Corps passed a recent audit. Kudos to them. But SSA, 30+ years of clean audits. Doge also claimed that 40% of Social Security calls were fraud attempts. False again. The actual stat was that of people committing direct deposit fraud, 40% used the phone. That's a tiny fraction, like 0.0026% of all calls. The vast majority of calls to Social Security are legitimate. People checking benefits, filing claims, and asking real questions. Another claim was that 1 million undocumented immigrants are receiving Medicaid. False again. Medicaid is not available to undocumented immigrants, except in emergency situations where hospitals treat patients without insurance. Some states do use their own money to provide limited care, but federal Medicaid isn't paying for that. Then they said millions of non-citizens are receiving Social Security cards. That's true, but misleading. Elon Musk himself got a Social Security number when he came here from Canada. Non-citizens who enter legally, students, workers, spouses, can all receive SSNs. That's the law. So let's recap. Zero fraud found in Social Security by Doge. They shut down an unused office and saved $60,000. When I was running my office, I shut down a card center and saved 10 times that. They delayed claims due to fear of phone fraud, and out of 110,000 reviewed applications, only 2 looked suspicious. Not fraudulent, just suspicious. If Elon Musk and Doge truly wanted to help root out fraud in Social Security, they would have worked with the people on the inside, SSA employees, who do this work daily. Fraud does exist, but it's more mundane. It's people working while receiving disability. It's people exceeding income limits on early retirement. It's the kind of fraud SSA employees already fight. But if you fire those employees, if you gut the agency, then no one is left to catch the fraud. You actually make it easier for fraud to happen. So yes, fraud, waste, and abuse do exist. But Doge missed every opportunity to work with the people who actually fight it. Instead, they went chasing headlines. Let's move on to your questions.